also by the Department of Labor and Employment. Okay, so we have an existing program in Wmsu with regards to the tracer study. And I am really very thankful, together with Ma'am Nora Lai, that we will be mentored on how to do this tracer study, because it has been a problem in the university. And I believe most of the universities find it really taxing and very difficult to do. Okay, so we have an existing programs of Wmsu. Please, next slide. But this program will be focusing only on the tracer study that we are conducting. Okay, so we have the presence of the Alumni Relations Office, which has a very big manpower, because they have the alumni coordinators, college coordinators, and the alumni program on Tracer is really a must for us, because this is really one uh, requirement of the higher education commission on higher education. That's why we are really doing this Tracer study. And of course, the office, the center, the Wmsu Career and Job Placement Center, we also made an employment tracer study from 2017 up to 2021. Okay, and the university also made a university tracer study from 2016 to 2018. But unfortunately, that tracer study, because of the bulk of questions and questionnaires that they have given, we were not able to get the number of respondents that we wish to get. But that's why, according to our research director, we only got 9% of the total uh, respondents that we want to, supposedly we want to get. Okay, okay, okay. Next, Dom. And this will be our plans for 2022, and hopefully we be able to pursue this, because we really need this for accreditation and upgrading of our university. Okay, next, Dom. Okay. So, okay. So these are our plans, and we've talked already with Dr. Nora Lai with regards to this. And hopefully we be able really to do this, because we would like to enhance the tracer studies of the different colleges. And this would now be a collaboration of our center together with the Alumni Relations Office. That would be with Ma'am Nora Lai, and the registrar and the planning officer. The planning officer, because the planning officer also started already with tracer study, but because of um, lack of manpower, so we were not able to get the required number of respondents. Of course, we will also be in collaboration with the Quality Assurance Office. Okay. Then, uh, when we talked with Ma'am Nora Lai, we said that, and together with our consultant, Liran Ochotorena, that we will activate the alumni tracer survey in our university website. So we will be asking MISTO, our management information system in the university, to please give us um, a space in our website, so that we be able to put our survey questionnaire, and that whoever our alumni can already answer the survey questions. Okay. Then we will also activate Facebook and other social media sites for the colleges and the different offices. Although I heard, I think it was Jeff or Tori, that the social media is not a good means of getting the survey for the tracer, but this is the only means that we can connect with our alumni, especially those in the provinces and those in the different maybe countries of the world. So we would like to use the social media, and when we connect with them in the social media, and especially in the Facebook, we be able to message them and give them the survey questionnaire that we have created. Okay, then we will also would like, actually this was already advised to me by Jeff before, and for well, now we would like to really create a faculty student group organization that would focus on helping us with employment of our graduates and alumni at the same time, because if we connect with them through employment, we be able to get uh, we will be able to give them the survey that we've made, and then we can already trace them through employment. Okay, next, Dom. Okay. This was made because um, we submitted ourselves for ISO. Okay, then we made this questionnaire, a simple questionnaire for our graduates, for them to be able, this is the office, the center's questionnaire, for us to be able to get the data from our graduates and our alumni, and that we will have a report every year to our planning officer or to our president. So this is a very simple survey questionnaire for employment. Okay, next, Dom. Okay, so this is the questionnaire that our university made. I just knew that they've made this yesterday when we asked the research office to give us the questionnaire that is hyperlinked in the Tracer Study questionnaire. But they gave us the new questionnaire, and hopefully we when we will be talking with Ma'am Nora Lai and Liran Ochotorena and the Misto, we be able to see if this will be the questionnaire that we'll be giving to our alumni um, and our job seekers, so that we be able to get the details from them. The hyperlink, doon paano ba mag-hyperlink? Ito, I'll just, okay. Uh,
Ma'am,
pwede,
it's also the file that you sent me, right?
yes, yes.
Yes. Jeff, Tori, let me know if it'd be good to flash it on screen. Please give me a moment so that I can load it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that, yes. This is a one page, the one that they made recently is a one-page questionnaire, but this tracer study questionnaire that is hyperlinked uh, is the questionnaire that we have a 32, 36 pages, but only 10 now will be you can see only the 10 because some were removed already. And this is where we had a failure on our tracer study for 2016 and 2018. Because when we went to our, well, the research people, when they went to the different graduates of our university, most of them ignored because it will really entail time for them to answer the questionnaire. That's why I believe that's one reason why the tracer study became a failure. Okay.
Um,
Yes.
Ma'am Narlene, kindly confirm if we're looking
Yeah,
at
yeah,
if
this
this
is
is
the
the
one.
correct
Yes.
file. Correct.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So
Uh,
if you can see the questionnaire,
yes.
because we patterned it from the Commission on Higher Education, but as I've said, we did not succeed on getting a required respondents.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Okay,
Go
Dom,
ahead,
you
thank
Jeff.
you,
did do
Dom.
that to us earlier, and thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Dom.
So
Yeah, we
Um, next
Jeff,
slide na, Dom.
Jeff and Tori has already seen this. Let me quickly stop sharing and go back to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
PowerPoint. Um, sorry.
I believe I have 2 slides more.
All right. I'll proceed to the next slide.
Yes, please. The internet connectivity in Zamboanga is not really good. Okay, so I'm just letting you see the existing programs that we have in the university and our plans to enhance the tracer study program of the university. So these are the things that I've discussed earlier, and these are the plans that we are pursuing, hopefully, and that we will be helping our university to trace our graduates. Next slide, Dom. Muchísimas gracias. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Nerlene. A couple of points, if I may, and Tori will certainly want to comment as well. I'm really pleased you're collaborating with alumni relations. That's a really good thing. Plus, you're going to have, sounds like you're going to have the support of quality assurance because career centers can't always do this on their own. So that's a really good thing. Tori actually may disagree with me on this, so don't be shy, Tori. If you do disagree, feel free to comment. But I like your trend of going to a more simplified questionnaire because that 9% response rate is just not good enough. And I really think making the questionnaire more simplified should increase your response rate. And then you can slowly get to a more sophisticated questionnaire as you evolve. But I liked your model of going on a bit smaller scale. And on social media, here again, Tori, I want you to comment as soon as I finish on this. But I'm a little concerned on using social media and Facebook as the platform for the survey because of confidentiality and data ownership. Facebook and social media are fine to communicate with students, but I'm not sure it's a good platform for actual data collection. Tori, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Nerlene, if I'm understanding correctly, it sounds like you aren't necessarily using social media as the host of the survey, but perhaps you have hoping that you have the survey on the website and you're sending information to people through social media, or kind of what does that process look like for you all?
The social media will be the one that we will have a preliminary connection with them. Then after that, if they can already give us their email addresses and also their maybe the other forms of which we can connect with them, then that's the time we will give them our survey questionnaires.
So it sounds like you aren't necessarily, redoing the survey through Facebook Messenger, but instead using that as to confirm that contact information.
And that should work.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. The fact that you mentioned, which is also a really good thing, that your accreditation bodies want data for the follow-up survey. That's really good, and I would certainly, and I'm sure you probably are, use that to get the endorsement of your top administrators, including your president, that the follow-up survey or tracer survey ultimately will support your accreditation. So that should give you some traction with your university administrators to perhaps make it required at graduation. Sorry, team, you'll hear me say this over and over again, but I'm such a big believer in making the initial survey a requisite to graduate. Even if most students are not yet employed, even if they still don't know what their plans are, it's a way to initially engage students and to tell them about the survey and tell them you support them, you'll stand with them, you'll continue to support their employment search following graduation, and to expect additional follow-ups and to collect that follow-up contact information actually before graduation. And particularly if responding to your survey is a requisite to graduate, students will do it if you have the support of your registrar and your university president.
Yes, Jeff, that's why we're collaborating with the registrar. because I find the last time you talked about after graduation, before graduation, they need to already fill up the survey. And
Right.
I've already talked to some of our administrators. That would be possible, but there would be a protocol that we need to do. And we are all, hopefully, we will be doing it with Ma'am Nora Lai. Thank
Good.
you, Jay.
Sure. It sounds like you're on the right track to me. Tori?
Yeah, so I just had a couple clarifying questions. And while we're kind of there, so you mentioned you're already kind of in the process of developing protocols for that pre-graduate survey. And I may have missed it in the presentation, but do you have any anticipated timeline for the follow-up window? Like, are you hoping to just do the survey at graduation and a 3-month follow-up, a 6-month follow-up, or have you not solidified that plan yet?
Okay, thank you, Tori. Yes, maybe because in the university, we've noticed from the simple survey that we've made for employability, most of them will get the first job maybe 6 months or 1 year. So we will be talking with Aliran and Ma'am Nora Lai so that we be able to see the timeline. Because from the simple survey that we had in the center, we found out that they can have, or most of them had their first job 6 months or 1 year. So maybe the follow-up will come for a year, or is it too long?
I think the thing I usually see that guides folks on that is what the accreditation, like the accrediting body wants. So if they have a stipulation on that follow-up, or if you have programs or majors that have accrediting bodies that require a specific follow-up, that's kind of where I see folks kind of try to strike the balance between when will people be employed, but also how can we satisfy those?
Yeah, because Tori, the accreditation body of our university asked us to trace 2 years backward. So when we always get the year before, so 2 years backwards, and we get the data and submit it to the accrediting body. And most of the time, the colleges are doing it on their own. So there is really no university tracer study. So now what we're going to do with Ma'am Nora Lai, because Dr. Nora Lai has the human resources, because she has alumni coordinators of every colleges, so we be able to consolidate them and make a university report.
Excellent. And I know
you.
you also sent us the one pager. So but you also mentioned it being on the website as a hopeful next step. So do you have, is there one in particular that you're kind of pushing? Are you hoping to do it in different, deploy different instruments in different settings? What does that plan kind of look like?
No, we plan to have a university survey questionnaire for Tracer. That's why I'm letting you see the 3 questionnaires, and we would like to consolidate it to be one, so that we be able to get the data for employment, the data for Tracer, and the data that the university needs. So, but as I've said, we would like to go on a simpler version. That's why we'd like to have only a 1 page. The culture of our alumni and even our graduating students, if it's too long, they will not do that. So maybe a 1-page questionnaire will start.
Yeah, so kind of on the analysis side, one thing to consider, since you've provided us kind of a print version that it looks like someone could do by hand, depending on if you're sending the questionnaire through an online form, or if you're doing it by hand, just know that if, you're having people pass it out at alumni events or that sort of thing, someone is going to have to input that information to make sure it's all in the same form, like in the same place. So just being cognizant that may be some manpower on that side as well. Just getting it all into one consolidated location.
Yes, I believe, Tori, we will be doing it in different ways. We will be putting that in online because we would like the alumni from far-flung places to see that in our website. But those who are visiting the university, we will be doing it on hand, so we will be giving the questionnaires to them. And as I've said, the different alumni coordinators can help us on this, and they be able to give their graduates because they know their graduates better than us.
Yeah, and that's where you could use some of those alumni coordinators to help input the data. As Tori mentioned, you'll have to get all that inputted into the same database.
Yes.
One very minor thing, I'd really like to see kind of, and students and graduates are interested in this as well, kind of your top employers who hired your graduates. And I noticed even on your short survey, you had asked them to provide the name of their employer if they had a job, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, because we need that for our linkages. So that's why we have the companies that will employ them, and most of our graduates are outside Zamboanga employed.
Right, good. Any other questions, Tori?
I would say the only other question I have is kind of related to the section A and B, kind of the general and educational degree information. Do you, as an institution, have a database where each student has a unique email or a unique kind of string of numbers or letters that is unique to them?
Yes, they have their own emails, university email, because that is the one that we're using for their online platform for their classes. So all of them have their unique LMS Teams email. So we have that, and Misto is the one taking care of all of that.
Okay, because one thing you may consider, and again, this is just an option,
yes,
is based on each student having a unique identifier and that unique email, you may be able to work with kind of your management information systems to be able to say, here is the email address, here is the type of degree, name of degree, year graduated. So you aren't asking, because sometimes, and I think we had talked about this last week, sometimes self-report, when students are telling you something and alumni are telling you something, sometimes it can get a little muddled. Like they may list not the official degree title, or they may, select the wrong year or that sort of thing. But if there's a way to match that unique identifier to your academic records, that may kind of keep the process, it may keep the process smoother and also kind of ensure that data integrity on your end. Because I know we run into this a lot, like for example, like with maiden names, sometimes those change and what you have in the system doesn't match like what you may be trying to send to someone. So if you can get that unique identifier to match and just ask them for that, you may be able to kind of do on the back end all of that other pulling of information.
Yeah, Tori, we will look into that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, I think your vision for the future and your plans look really solid, Nerlene. Don't be shy, particularly you. You've been to Florida State, and you and I go way back. So as you execute those plans in cooperation with the Alumni Association, feel free to contact us if you need follow-up at all.
Yes, Jeff, I will, because I really need your help.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, and I hope Ma'am Nora Lai and myself can go back to Florida.
Always welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Sure.
Jeff. I miss you.
I miss you too. Take good care.
Thank you, ma'am Nerlene. Thank you, ma'am Nora Lai.